old Chevy's idling bad when I'm sitting at a light. Yesterday I was sitting at a light like this and it actually stalled out and cut off. So I literally just did an oil change on this thing like about a week ago. As you can see, the oil is pretty clean for the most part. You can tell I have a little bit of you know, dirt and dirtiness in my motor. Every time I pull the dipstick, it's got like that crud and stuff on it. This motor, I have no idea really how many miles are on this thing. The truck's actually had a motor added a quart, so it should be all the way full now. It's still kind of draining down the motor, I guess. I don't know, but I think I might wait a minute, keep checking that and make sure it's up to the full line. I think this truck pretty much holds 4 quarts, maybe 5, I don't know. When I did the oil change, I don't know, I put 4 quarts in there and I started it up and it seemed fine, but I guess after you run it a little bit, I don't know, I guess a V8, maybe it does hold 5. I don't know. But anyway, I just got the Seafoam, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 4 ounces, I think it's 1 ounce per quart of oil. So I'm gonna put 4 ounces of this. I had this measuring cup. I'm gonna wipe it out. It was in the back of the truck. But so I'm gonna pour 4 quarts of this in. I mean 4 ounces of this in there. And I'm about to drive to Virginia Beach to go get a DOT physical done. So that's like at least 2 hours of driving there and back. So that should be plenty of time to have that in the oil running and cleaning the motor. And then when I get back home, I'm gonna dump it and put fresh oil and filter on the truck. All right, there we go. I'm also gonna add some of this in my fuel, but I have to fill the truck up first. I'm also going to do the fuel treatment, and there we go, 4 ounces. I'm actually gonna do the fuel treatment, and hopefully that cleans out the injectors and stuff. See what happens. So we did the oil, now we got to go fuel up. I also want to spray this in the carburetor also. I got a spray can of this stuff, and I also want to do the carburetor and run this, but I don't know if when I'm gonna do it yet, but we're gonna do it. All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it right here in the parking lot. I wasn't sure. I don't have anybody to hold the gas for me, so I bought one of these little clamps. It was only $1.99 or $1 something in Walmart, and I'm just putting that in my pedal right there. Let's see if we can get it up to 2,000. Got to go a little bit more. And one little squeeze. There we go, right at it. So I took, actually I'm gonna cut this thing right here. I'm actually gonna cut this hose shorter. I guess I could just spray it in there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna spray it in there without the nozzle, see what happens. Now I should definitely use the nozzle. All right, I'm gonna cut this. There we go, I cut it a little shorter. Throw that in that in here. And you're supposed to just spray this whole cannon in there. It takes 5 to 7 minutes or something. Shake it up real good. But we're sitting there at 2,000 RPMs with our gas pedal clamp. We're just gonna spray this right in there like that. I don't see any smoke. Smoking now. Trying to do both the sides equally. Smoking a little bit. Got a little bit left in the can. It's definitely smoking a little bit. choke out of her. A little bit more, a little bit. Seems like that's about all that's gonna come out. All right, let's release the gas. There you go. That's an awesome little clamp right there for $2. So my engine light is on, and now I'm gonna, oil pressure is looking a little low, but I'm gonna cut this off. It says to let it kind of heat soak for about 10 minutes. So we'll let it kind of soak for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go fill this thing up with some octane and put some in the fuel, and then we're gonna run all this fuel out, and we're gonna run this thing for a couple hours and flush out the engine with the oil. And then I'm gonna come back home and do an oil change, and I guess put some fresh gas after we burn this stuff out. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. Start this thing up. Engine light went off. That clicking noise, that's something I gotta fix too. It's something with the air, one of the air doors or something. Oh, it's kind of annoying. It does that every time I start it up and cut it off. So something else I have to fix. Looks like we still have a real low idle. We'll see if we can clear that up though. Let's go get some fuel. Throw some of this in the oil too. I mean in the fuel or in the gas. Oil pressure goes up when you're driving it. And then when I stop, the oil pressure is pretty low. So when I do an oil change, I'm definitely gonna put a quart of Lucas in this thing. Let's fill this thing up. It's 16 ounces and there's about 16 gallons in here, I think. So I'm just gonna pour this whole thing in here. Now we're gonna fill it up with fuel. Filling her up. All right, there we go. Full of fuel. It's time to go run this thing. Pretty much gonna keep this thing in drive the whole time. That way my RPMs stay up a little high. Just like that. Keep on rolling. I feel like I could tell a difference in performance already. It definitely seems like it's accelerating better and smoother for sure. Even when I let off the fuel, pedal, it seems smoother, like it's even decelerating smoother than it was. Seemed more jerky when I would let off the gas. Seemed like it was a lot more, it would decelerate a lot faster, but now it seems to even decelerate smoother. I'm just kind of riding down some back roads and running it pretty good. See, I let off the gas and it just seems smoother, like quite a bit smoother. That's cool. Does not seem to be helping my idle though when I'm at a light. I'm hoping my oil pressure will go up when I put some new oil and some Lucas in here, but it definitely doesn't seem to be helping my idle. So I definitely have a low idle problem. I changed the spark plugs, I changed the wires. So I gotta figure out what I have to do to fix this idle. It's been like that for a long time, and I've never been able to figure it out. I think I changed the EGR on here. I don't know what else to do about that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, got the DOT physical passed. About time to go get back into some trucking. Stopped and got me some sushi. I'm riding down the road making a mess. You ever tried to drive down the road and eat sushi? Dang, is that a big one? Or is it just stuck together? That's how I do it. Alright, we made it home. I didn't use quite as much fuel as I thought. Man, I guess I should have just mixed up a half a tank, but whatever, it'll take me another trip to run that out later. I got a GM fuel filter, so I'm gonna put this on here and hope that'll help my idle. Might not be it, but that's what my buddy, he was like, have you changed your fuel filter? And I was like, good idea. So I'm gonna change that. Change the oil. If you listen close, you can kind of hear it, like almost like it's missing a little bit or something. I don't know. You can kind of see it in the RPM too. See it kind of drop in there a little bit. I'm not too sure, but I gotta figure it out because I want this thing to run better. So check the oil, see how dirty this stick is now. Oh well, dang, it ain't really dirty at all, is it? Huh. Yeah, it's really not dirty at all. I was expecting it to have some grime and be blacker from cleaning the motor. I like to use this real long extension, that way I don't really have to get all the way up under there. I just use this long extension that reaches from pretty much outside the truck. Get it loose. Yep. She came loose. Ratchet off. Just dump it. And then I'll sit there and let this drain for a while before I even take the filter off. I'm gonna let this actually sit for quite a while. Yeah, that oil's looking pretty black. Yeah, it's definitely looking black. Ugh. But I'm gonna let it sit here for a while and just drip out as long as I have patience. I'm gonna let it drip until my patience run out, but I want to get like as much out of here as I can. Yeah, that is looking pretty black right there. Goodness. So yeah, it definitely did some cleaning, I'd say. Let me see, here's the new fuel filter. Let me show you this other one. This is the they said the pretty much the original GM AC Delco filter. How shiny and clean that is compared to this other one. Put my cardboard under there. Look at that. I'd say that's pretty old. I've never changed this. I don't believe I've ever changed it on this truck, and I've had this truck a long time and I've never changed it. So my dad actually bought this truck brand new and pretty much passed it down to me. I actually got my driver's license when I was 16 driving this truck. So we've had this truck a long time, but I don't even know if my dad's ever changed it or not. I've had this truck passed to me, I want to say at least for 10 years, and I don't think I've ever changed that. So it definitely needs to be done. And it would amaze me if that would help my idle a little bit. It could be the fuel pump. That's what my buddy was saying too. The fuel pump's pretty old on it. I don't know if it's ever been changed or not. And I've actually just been waiting because I bought all new brake lines, and I'd like to get all new fuel lines actually for this truck. So really I'd like to just take the bed off, do all the fuel lines, the fuel pump, fuel line, and what else was I saying? Oh, and I bought a new hogshead cover, and I'd like to change out the differential oil and that while the bed's off. I don't know, it just seems like it'd be a good project to do all that, take it to the car wash and spray everything off, get it all clean under there. I don't know, it'll happen eventually. All right, so I poured this whole quart of Lucas in there, and I put in about 3.5 quarts. It was 5 quarts, so I put about 3.5 quarts of that in there. Start this thing up, fire it up. See if I bet the oil pressure is different now with that Lucas in there. Did I put the cap? Yeah, I put the cap back. Oh, there it goes. Took a second. See there? Put it in gear. See, if the oil pressure and the idle would stay like that, we'd be good. So that kind of, I mean, it kind of shows that it's nothing really with the fuel. I think it's just more, I don't know. But I'll put it in dry. Oh yeah, the idle is pretty low. The oil pressure is better. Oil pressure is a whole lot better. Alright, y'all. It's been a couple days now. I've been driving this thing around like normal. Pretty much ran out. Oh dang. Screen's getting foggy. Alright, so I've been driving this thing around for a couple days like normal. I pretty much ran out. Well, I still have a quarter of a tank of the fuel left, so I didn't burn all of that out yet. But I drove to the store this morning, and I was actually hearing a little bit of a slight tick in the motor. I'm not really hearing it now, but there's a little bit of a tick. I have heard it tick before. It has done that like every once in a while. But the oil pressure is definitely better still. Oil pressure is staying up pretty good now that I have the oil and Lucas in there. So as far as the Seafoam treatment, I think it did definitely help performance. I think it starts a lot better than it was starting. Accelerates better. Seems like it definitely drives a lot smoother. Decelerates smoother. Did it do a miracle to my truck like I've seen other people's cars on YouTube or trucks? Not really. It didn't really do anything amazing, but it definitely did help. It was a good, you know, $20 or $30. It was definitely worth it. And plus, you know, the oil change, another $30 for the oil change. So I live right near the National Guard base down here, so my backyard is literally like a airport takeoff, like flight zone right through my backyard. But anyway, the Seafoam, it's not like it did a miracle to my truck, but it was definitely worth doing. I'm glad I did it. And oh, I never did end up doing the fuel filter yet, so I will do an update when I do that and see if it helps the idle any. But as you can see from my last video, I went kayaking, I've been playing, and hadn't been really working the past couple days. So anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. Later.